I can talk about this today. Y'all, what's up? And thank you for more here from Authentic Glow Coaching. What the hell is going on, bro? Like, for when we out here struggling in these streets, you think I'm about to be the main chick up here talking about, yeah, what time we finna go out? What time is the reservations? Honey, my baby father, my husband, tried to get me to come out yesterday, whatever else. I'm like, bruh, we need to come home and step this up. We need to get in one spot and be stationary. I ain't got to keep coming back and forth all over spinning. And I feel so bad because I know the girlies and they're like, they got half of our stuff over here in my dude's house and I got half of it over here and it just starts to get to be some and I'm getting tired of like, yeah, get it together. So it's cheaper to keep us closer together and that's real. As you out here and you doing your savings and you trying to boss up and you trying to level up and you trying to, and I hate that word because I like Sierra, you know what I mean? But I'm also a big, like, a stickler for the romance fairy tale, which is never like baby daddy. So, you know what I mean? Like, I have to be very cautious with her. And I hope that, she doesn't take that the wrong way because I know the internet people is up forever, but I just hope that, you know what I mean, it's not taken personally or anything like that. And I also heard that she didn't like Rihanna, you know what I mean? Or that Carrie Hilson also did not like Beyonce or, just bizarre things. And I know that Kelly Rowland is really cool with, I want to say, Sierra, you know what I mean? And I find that strange, you know what I mean? But and we get to those points where, for an example, like if Russell Wilson had the wife or whatever before, you know what I mean? Was it just a matter of time before, you broke up whatever homes and all of that crap? And or maybe he just, I don't know, lusted or he really liked her, maybe just picked too early. And I don't know why. What was the pressure coming from anyway to marry at what, out of high school on their sweethearts or something like that? Like high school prime mates or whatever, prime dates, however you want to call it. So I don't know. I never felt any pressure in that sense to marry anybody from prom. So I'm not sure what that was about. So, savings in order to really feel as though your relationships are really cool. Because, for number one, I realized myself going out with girlfriends, especially the chicks that was like the craziness and whatever else that was going on. And I call them hoes, you know what I mean? I don't want to tell you, but so the hoes that constantly want to just be able to kind of sort of be like, well, yeah, having another baby, our baby shower is this day, come over here and break off your ends. Like, first off, I got a savings goal. When you ain't in it, you ain't included in it. So I get to that point where even realizing that I have saving goals, I actually began to cut people off who are a threat to that goal. So that's sad because again, I was just speaking of how many baby fathers does it take till you get to the people that, and that's just the fairy tale Cinderella happy ever after story within me, that's in myself as a young kid, as a young girl. And can't nobody take that from me, not even Sierra or Kelly Rowland or, nobody else's thought processes or nothing like that. Like, even I heard that Kelly Rowland, had not talking to her dad for all those years, and I don't know if it was on purpose, intentionally or not, y'all. But I never really felt that way about my dad. Like I will say though that there were times where I felt like I did definitely want to have a break, or I needed to kind of sort of not respond, or certain things like that. But even just going down monetary savings and things like that, my dad has been a really good saver. I've always kind of sort of felt as though I get some of my books and things like that from him. He's been a really big person like that. And I was just actually comparing some of my fathers and contrasting thoughts to some of the hoes and they father's thoughts. And my dad was always more so like, yo, Antasia, as you developing, so is he, or like, you know what I mean? And things like that. So that put into my mind, like, okay, well, cool. Since I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my life and things like that, and I'm trying to build my credit up and I'm trying to kind of sort of figure out what this degree is going to lead into career wise. And I'm trying to kind of sort of figure out, like, I'm just going to practice celibacy. Like, I don't really want to be, I don't know, destined, figuring out whatever else besides what my goals are, like, and things of that nature. So I'm not trying to really be bothered with nobody else. I just want to be abstinent. Like I'm figuring out those type of ideas instead of kind of sort of figuring out like what's the next book sale that I can do scheme wise to bring in some money. And the whole time I'm not really serving my readers because eventually I just blew everything that I wrote about off the water because I chose not to actually take my own advice. Like So you practicing one thing and then you actually did another. So you're not necessarily practicing what you preach. Like you have all of this here, and then and how I looked at it at the end of the day, no, like, well, damn, that was just like, a total waste of effort. Now, I'm not saying, that's a good or bad thing. That was the only reason why it was done or whatever else, just to kind of sort of be like, well, I just thought that was always weird. I did not really care for, if God does not believe in sex before marriage, what made it any easier for people to feel as though God hates not divorce, and yet you went ahead and did that, but then you failed to do the other, so it kind of annulled that type of whole monetary process with the book sold. So I guess that's all that matter. You know what I mean, for Megan Good and whatever with the other preacher guy, things like that. So I don't know. You just gotta be mindful with your money and things like that, and be saving, because saving can really dwindle. And I'm not sure sometimes my all right, because yeah, savings and like having yourself. I I, I apologize for that, y'all. I do. All right. So as I was saying, yeah. So savings and things like that for whatever is going on is, kind of sort of a better way to manage your money than making things that you don't believe in just to make a quick buck so that you can actually build your savings, because you risk kind of sort of like your reputation in so many words, so to speak. So you really want to be mindful of that. So also realizing that sometimes you're only invited to places because they want you to spend your money and not save your money is another really hurtful experience as well. So that's why it's easier to cut these people off, because when you are like, I want to focus on my goals, and you're hindering them, then it's easy to keep that thought in mind. See, that's why I really don't understand. You really want to benefit by my forgetfulness, but when I remember everything that you did, it motivates me to continuously go in and to whoop that ass of these hoes. But when I have the boss bitches on the other hand who are really like pushing you forward, they don't really just want you because you're spending your money. Like, they really care about your thoughts, your processes. They think you're a really good person, and that's why they want you around, not just because what you could do for them. That's one of the main reasons why I had so many falling out with some of these hoes. When I had those moments and they're like, oh, I'm getting ready to move out with my boyfriend. Tasia, come and pull up. They only want me to pull up. Why? Because I got a whip. That's it. It's not because I'm a good person, not because I was wise, not because they thought that I was going to be good to them in their moment of need. Like, hell no, bitch. The only reason why this hoe wanted me over there was to get her ass up out of there because I had a car. That's it, bitch. That costs what? Money. That's gas. That's upkeep. That's flat tires. You know how many damn donut holes I used to damn hit? Potholes. These are donut every other week, bitch. That's probably why, because I'm dealing with these hoes. You know what I mean? And then that's another problem. So, and then what's sad about that too, as well, and we're gonna go ahead on and wrap it up, is that even when you're trying to save your money and you go out here to these stores and shit like that, the bitches that work behind most of these damn things is hoes, bro. So when you up there and they talking shit or whatever else, and you leave something behind, you got to go back, or somebody misrung something, or they rung it twice, or didn't ring it and put it in there anyway, or whatever else, and it's like a habitual type of damn thing. I'm not coming out spending my damn money no more. So therefore, that also makes it easier to save my money. So my boss bitches probably are so moody that they're rich as fuck. They ain't nothing but rich chick energy. But these hoes only want to take it. So, be mindful of what it is that you choose, and choose to love, and to make sure that your glow, that the things that you're thinking about for glow ticket topics is the boss bitch. Okay. Make sure that's where you continuously lean towards. Like, I'm just keeping it real. Like, if you can't do that, you know what I mean, then this channel isn't for you. But anyway, thank you. Have a good day. I'll talk to y'all again soon as well. We do have a little type of sheet that I did create for you all that is available for purchasing as well, if you trying to figure out what your savings goal for $500 emergencies and things like that. if you want. I know income taxes is coming around every year, and I always try to take our income taxes and try to kind of divvy up to the things that I know that we need most. And I have learned though that I cannot just use that for my savings account. Like that money goes so fast. So I always realize now that you just need a steady savings account. You can't just wait one time a year. It's the same thing as having like the Halloween girlies. Y'all know, like my boss bitches, y'all love certain stuff. I know I love Halloween. I love that energy. I'm a diehard. Like that's just what it is. So when I do that, I don't just do it one time a year anymore. As I grew older, I have manifested that if it's a decent day and it's outside of fall, it's spring, but it's a little chilly, and a Halloween is hitting for the PJs, I put them down. I'm not just wearing them only in that one time a year during the fall season. It's like, no, they were just getting stretched, bro. That's the same thing how I feel about not just waiting that one time a year. No, that's my savings. Like, that's my savings. Like, no, this that savings is throughout the year. Like, bro, we finna make this stretch. So you gotta get to that point, ladies. Once you get to that point, most likely that's the pivotal moment where things start to have that turning point that you can see is manifested at this point. I don't just mean like hypothetical. I mean the turning point is actually seen physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, emotionally. You know what I mean? Like it's now considered solidified. Like, you that bitch. You know what I mean? Like that type of moment is something that you do year round. That's how you know that energy and that savings goal is no longer just a part of a thing that you do once a year and then you forget about it. Like, no, that is continuous. So, all right, y'all have a good day.